I lied. Japan update. Okay, so we have formulated a plan. We are going to appeal the decision, but that is probably going to end up getting denied anyway. But if we see Okinawa orders or FRC orders, which is like the place where we are now, we're going to try and get those because apparently there's a lot more availability for services in Okinawa, like child psychologists, everything you could need. So my son would not be wanting for anything. It's the same services that they have here, if not more, honestly, because this is a very small place. Over there, bigger city. So we're going to try for Okinawa or staying here after we do our appeal and probably get denied again. I'm going to bug the place where he's supposed to have his autism evaluation after explaining that I would kindly like to be moved up the wait list because of extenuating circumstances, because we're getting denied for our overseas orders, and this is literally interfering with my husband's orders overseas, because they're denying literally because we're pending the eval and they don't know what needs he's going to have. Because if they had the eval, they would know he's not going to need anything, and if he does need anything, it's going to be very minimal, which would be a lot like able to go to Atsugi where we're trying to go right now, but they definitely would have it in Okinawa, but they definitely have it in Atsugi. So we need that eval. But the problem is the eval right now, because they're so booked up, is the first week of April. And if we wait, we're supposed to leave the first week of July, so that gives us a very small 2-month window. If, for instance, in April they're like, oh, we still have the same orders, they do the eval and they're like, he needs all these services, and then we're like, well, we can't end up going to Atsugi if he needs all these services. Then we have to wait until May to again wait till a window opens up to get the orders. And then we're just stuck with whatever they have in May, which, given my husband's actual job, you would think there'd be a lot, but my husband's job is so small. It's such a small percentage of the military that does my husband's job. So we're very limited on where we can go. And we definitely don't want to end up in certain places. Like, half the places are desert. We don't want that. There's San Diego, which wouldn't be the worst, but it's not ideal. Honestly, where we are is the most ideal for the States, kind of. So, yeah. And there's only one availability for that here. There was another one that got taken, so it's like literally it's like super pressure the next 6 months. So I'll try and update you guys again once we know more, but Monday we're submitting the appeal. It seems like they move very quickly, so I guess we'll know, I would think by Wednesday, if not Thursday, what the status is on if it's moving past the medical, because it doesn't even get to the educational. They're just denying it on the medical because he hasn't had the eval. So they're like, well, he might need some psychological services, but they're not giving any reasoning. They just gave a diagnosis code. They didn't give any reasoning, which is against their policy. And the diagnosis codes they use, he doesn't even have. They based him on the IEP, which is illegal to do because that is not a medical diagnosis. A school psychologist cannot give a medical diagnosis. It literally says on the eval, this is not to be used for medical purposes. Educational purposes only. So, yeah, I wrote out literally multiple page appeal on citing all the different things that they did wrong, requesting that if they do deny this, that they provide me a detailed explanation as to why they're denying it to prove their case, because it's also on the burden of them. They have the burden of proof to provide a reason why we can't go overseas. That's literally the language. The legal language is they have the burden of proof once we have submitted all his medical stuff to provide us the burden of proof as to why he cannot. They can't just give us a diagnosis code. The reason I know this is because I have worked in disability doing evaluations for 20 years. 20 years I've been doing this. I worked for Social Security Disability, and now I'm working private sector. This is my bread and butter. If they want to fight, I know how to fight. I have a degree in law. I will fight. I will give all their language back to them legal-wise. I will cite the policies like I have, because I want to get to Japan, and I want my son to also get what he needs. And I know that they have the services he needs in Atsugi, and I know they have them in Okinawa. My last video was kind of depressing. I'm still very depressed. As you can see, I'm trying to do the red light. I'm trying to take care of myself because I'm just like, I call it Depressy Jessie when I get sad. But I'm just trying to refocus and set goals. And now we have a layout of our timeline and our plan on if and then, if and then, if and then. So cross your fingers for us. I know this is a long video. Thank you if you stayed the whole time. If not, then you won't even know.